Hello guys, it's Catherine. I'm finally filming my so sorry. I just filmed this like without pressing record for a while. So now I'm really confused where I was. Anyway, so hi guys. It's Catherine and I'm finally doing my 2022 setup video with you guys. I tried to do this a while ago, but it's just been really crazy because of Black Friday sale and also launching the subscription kit. So let me just, before I get started, I just want to say that this video is going to be quite lengthy just because I want to cover everything in one video in as much detail as I can. And then just because I don't think I can like get myself back here and then continue talking about the different things, I'll forget what I was meant to say. Anyway, so I just wanted to put that out there. And before I get started, I just want to talk briefly about my planner system because I feel like it hasn't changed that much since 2018 because I think my system is pretty good. It's tailored for me and it's been working out really well for myself. It's a 3-part system. The first part is the pre-planning / brain dumping part, and then the middle part is the main planner, which has my day-to-day scheduling and to-do list and all of that. And I also have a reference binder that has all of the important information categorized so that I can access them right away. So I started doing this since 2018 because I was pregnant with my son at the time and I really wanted to stay organized so that I can take better care of myself, my family, and my son. So that's what I did, and it's been working out really well. And throughout the years, the planners I use changed a lot, but I've always been in a personal size binder, except for 2020 briefly because I wanted to try out the A5 size ring binder, but it was just way too big, so I went back to personal size and never looked back. It's the perfect size for me. It's compact, it's just perfect. So let's jump right into it. So last year for my main planner, I used Hobonichi Cousin, which I loved. It's just, you can see that I used this for the entire year and it served me really well. It's been really satisfying to go through the whole book and then see how my life was this year. It's just funny because you can really see, like, or at least I can really see how I felt. I can feel all of those feelings again just by looking at this notebook. When I see the empty pages, I know like the mental suffering I went through because we lost my father this year really suddenly due to brain cancer. It was so quick and just devastating. And when I see the empty pages, I can feel my struggle during those times. And you know, when I started using my planners again, you know, I could really see how I was like trying so hard to pick myself back up. So I'm proud of myself for that. And it's so funny how like this stack of paper can contain so much about our life, and I think that's why we all love planners and notebooks. I think we planners and journalers are romantics and dreamers. Yeah, so I think we share that in common. I really loved the Hobonichi Cousin this year, but there were some things that did not work for me, which I didn't realize until I was setting up my 2022 system. So I'll talk about that a little bit later, but in the last video, I think, or whichever video I was talking about my 2022 system, I said I was going to use an A5 Nanami notebook as my bullet journal, and that was going to be my main planner. But since then my plan for it has changed, I'm still going to use an A5 bullet journal, if you can call it that. I don't think it is a bullet journal, but or whatever bullet journal means. If bullet journal just means that you draw out your own layout, then yes, it is a bullet journal. But I'm still going to be using it, but I'm just not going to be using it as my main planner, and I'll share with you what that looks like. So this is my A5 Minami. Instead, I will be using some new planners. So let me show you that now. So meet my B6 Appunto from Gillio. This is the yellow blue gold combination. I got it in I got a secondhand from the Gillio marketplace. It was so funny because I woke up that day and I said to myself, you know, I really need a B6 Appunto and I would love it in the blue gold combination. And at that time, nothing was on the marketplace and whatever. And seriously, like right after I said that, I opened Facebook and it was right there. It was listed literally 8 minutes before I turned on my computer. So it was meant to be mine, I think. So luckily I was able to get it. It's absolutely beautiful. I'm obsessed with it. I usually don't like bicolor planners, but this is just gorgeous. I love that you can see the sliver of blue when it's open, and you have this neutral sort of like gold color here, and when you close it, it's a whole different planner because it's blue. I really love it. I want this in like slim Appunto and also maybe A5. Anyway, so in this B6 I have my Techo Biz Mini, which is a B6 slim size, and I have the Franklin planner organizer here, which is B6 size. And then on the front cover, I just sort of quickly decorated it. I'm really bad at it. I don't usually decorate my pockets. They're usually empty, but I tried because I really like how you guys decorate yours, and I try to do it myself too. I just use my die cut from my January collection, and then this is a calendar for my shop for January, and then I also have this freebie from January sticker collection, and this die cut is from Bunny Plans. So this is my Techo Biz Mini, which is B6 slim size, and that's my Franklin B6 size daily planner. And I was not going to use these until a few weeks ago when me and my husband made the decision to homeschool our kid, who's not even 3 yet. So because we're both home and we own our business and we work together, we're always home with him, so we have the opportunity to do this with him and to see how it goes. And if it doesn't work out, then we send him to school, and that's not too late. So we wanted to try it out. And of course I started thinking about what kind of planner I should be using for that. So I did end up getting choosing the Techo, and I couldn't decide between the light and the Biz Mini, so I just got both and decided that I'll use one, and then I can use one for him as well. So this is just where I'm going to be writing down the curriculum for him, because I'll be combining different things. I did purchase a few different curriculums, and I wanted to just mix and match because they're not all for his age, so I wanted to kind of filter through them and then see what would work better for him. So that's what I'm using this for, and I wanted to use a Franklin planner because I wanted to kind of write down his like daily like happenings here, and just like have a nice record of like what he did and like what fun things he did, the kind of progress and all that fun stuff. And it can also serve as a memory keeper. So yeah, so that's how I'm setting up. He's kind of you know, journal slash homeschooling planner. I chose the Biz Light for him because I'm going to be archiving this for him, and I thought it would be nice to have a finished cover with the gold number on the side, on the spine. And one of the main differences in layout for the Biz version, between the Biz version and the Light version, is that this is just for those of you who are not familiar with this planner. So in the Biz version, which is this one, the project planner or the Gantt chart is separated from the monthly section, but here you have, in the Light version, you have that combined. So I thought that might work out well for him because I don't need that much space in the monthly spread, and it's nice to see these two together, and I can maybe use that as a tracker for him or something. So that would be nice. So that's one of the main reasons why I chose the Light for him versus the Biz. So yeah, that's that. And now let me show you the Biz version, which is the one that I'm using. So I went with just the refill without the PVC cover because I'm going to be putting it inside my cover anyway, and I like that black cover instead of the, I don't really like the PVC cover, so I didn't want to get that. But for those of you who are not familiar with Techo and might want to try it out, I thought I would show you guys how it fits inside different covers, just because I know, especially like, you know, planners, like you're very like interested in what cover fits where. So I figured I would show it to you because I wanted to figure out this information, but I couldn't really find it anywhere. So I want to show you guys how this book fits in the slim Appunto, because it feels like it would almost fit, right? So this is how it would look if you don't cut it down or do anything with it. The strap still closes, so if you don't mind, you can use it like that. Or you can put the front flap in here And then you won't see it from the front, but you'll see it in the back, which might matter to you or might not. Depends. But if you cannot stand the overhang and don't mind doing a little DIY, then this is what you can do. This is from 2020. I cut it down just a little bit. You can see the difference. And let me show you what that looks like on the inside. So in the weekly section, they have these check boxes on the side. So what I did was I basically like cut down like up to here. That was my intention, but I was just doing it really quick. So I went a little bit over. Then I rounded the corner using like the corner rounder that everybody uses. I forgot what it's called. It's just from Amazon. I rounded the corner because it was so sharp and I almost scratched myself, so I had to round it. But this is how it fits after you cut it down. It's a perfect fit. So if that's what you wanted to do, you can definitely use the Slim Appunto for your Jibin techos if you cut it down. And since we're talking about the fit of notebooks and covers, I just want to really quickly show you guys the Nanami, because this is a very popular notebook from Nanami. This is the Grid B6 Slim notebook. You can use this in here. It will just overhang a little bit, but I imagine if you just cut it even a little bit, it will be a perfect fit. So that's that. I just wanted to share that with you guys in case you were wondering, but otherwise it's holding my weeks right now. Okay, back to my Jibin techo. So this year I will be using this combination of Jibin techo mini with my Franklin planner in B6 size. I have basically set up a mini version, B6 size version of my cousin. And I know what you're thinking, it's kind of extra, but what I'm going to be doing is I'm only going to be using the Jibin techo for their weekly spreads, and this only has the weekly spreads. It does have the monthly, but I'm not going to be using that. I did use it for December because I didn't decide that yet, but I will be only using the weeklies here, and I'll tell you why. So first of all, I want to only keep one set of monthlies, so I'll be using the Franklin planner for that. I think it has more room. It's very clean. It looks very nice, but more than just a look, the reason why I decided to do that is because I can reference this when I'm using the weeklies. And that was one of my biggest thing with the Hobonichi Cousin, even though I do love that everything is in one book, and it's not Hobonichi Cousin's fault, it's just my preference. It's kind of nice to be able to reference the monthly when you have a weekly open. I do a lot of reference when I'm working in the weekly, so this would be nice to kind of separate that. And then what's also nice is that once I'm done planning out my weeks in here, then I can reference the week when I'm working in the daily. So I just love this setup. I'm excited to see how that would work for me next year. So I have already started using this Jibin techo in December just because I couldn't wait, and I was just like really antsy. I wanted to start a new planner. So I started using it. You can see that I was already in the monthly. It's not pretty or anything. I just try to be neat, but I don't have decoration. I might add decoration if I feel like it. If I don't feel like it, I won't add it. But I don't have any pressure to do that. I did have a little bit of pressure with the Hobonichi Cousin because I was already making the dailies pretty, and I felt the need to go into the weekly and decorate it, but here I don't feel that need at all. And also I feel like this size is perfect for my tiny handwriting. It's just enough space for me to fill up, and I like that look of that jam-packed writing. So these are the 3 weeks so far. It gets really crazy. Sometimes I do cross things off using my zebra eyeliner, the gray one. Do I have it? No, I don't, but it's just like this, but it's a gray version that's really popular. I just like de-highlight it so I can see the other tasks more clearly. I do that when I just feel really overwhelmed, so that I can kind of see what did I already do. It's better than just a check mark, and I like it because you can still see what I wrote instead of like crossing it out using a pen. And then I do kind of color outline the important tasks. So that's how I'm using this. And the bottom portion, so my husband has joined me because I am just really overwhelmed. I can't do this by myself. So he has joined me with my businesses, and I have just been dropping his tasks down here so that I can easily see them right away, and then I'll just tell him, can you do these things for me, please? So that's been nice. So it's like that. It's a mix of household things versus like, and also business related items. But yeah, that's how I've been using it. It's just really simple. And how this is gonna work is the night before, I always write out the entire to-do list of the next day. I have to do that because if I don't do that, then I am very disoriented and I end up spending like hours just like meandering and not knowing what to do because my brain is not awake yet. So I would write out the to-do list for the next day. There's no order or anything. And then what I plan on doing is I'll take it out the next day. I'll go into my daily and then I'll look at my to-do list, read through it, and then kind of organize my thoughts, and I'll just write down like priorities and then just write it down here so I know those are the things I really need to hit. And then maybe this can be like my place for me to kind of briefly write down like when I want to do what, and then this will just be whatever extra notes that I need for that day. So for example, if I had a meeting with my partner for my business, then I will go into that day when I'm supposed to have the meeting. Say we have the meeting on June 15th, then over here I'll write down meeting agenda. I'll write down these are the things I want to talk about, so then when the meeting comes, when that day comes, I can just jump right into it and these continue that train of thought. So that's how I plan on using this. Again, it's going to be purely functional, no beautiful decoration or anything. That's how I plan on using these two, and I'll see how that works out. So then I have my Hobonichi weeks. I love my Hobonichi weeks. It's like a perfect size for pre-planning. So for those of you who are new to this channel, I do have two businesses. One of them is Sterling Ink, where I illustrate, design, make, pack, and all of my stickers and products. I now offer monthly subscriptions, and it's very, very overwhelming. My schedules are crazy. I do a shit ton like all day, and you know, when you run a business, there's more than just designing and illustrating. There's a lot of other things involved, and also because everything's happening all at once, I have to kind of look ahead a few months just to kind of make a schedule for myself. Otherwise, I will drop balls because I'm the only person I can depend on right now because I mean, my husband joined me, but still, like, it's just the two of us. So, and I probably know more about my business than he does. So, you know, I have to make sure that everything is done or it will be really bad. So I have been using my Hobonichi for a few years now as the space for where I pre-plan. So I do look ahead in my business and plan out stuff, and then write down when I want to do my launch, and when I have to finish my drawings by, when I have to reach out to the vendors to make some things for me, and all of that good stuff. So that's what I use this for. And for the weekly section, I already started using it because obviously, how can you resist? So I started using it that first week of December, and on the right hand, I just kind of sit down the week before this current week and then write down my intention, kind of the main to-dos of that week, and then I just kind of go into each day and then write down when I can do what, and this serves as my compass and my guideline for that week when I go ahead and start working out my specific to-dos for that week. I know when I say this, it might seem very redundant, but it's actually not. It's just a process of how my brain works. Like, you need to start with like I need to start with a guideline, and then I'll be able to add on to it. And there's really not that much space to write too much in here. I would never be able to use this as my actual planner just because of how much goes down in my day. But this is the perfect amount of space just to write down like the highlights. So that's what I use this for. And then on the back, I just use the notes for a brain dump or whatever if I feel like it. I've already started using it. I'm on page 16. But in terms of brain dump or whatever, I also have this B6 slim size in the Nanami that I showed you earlier. I like it for the size. It's wider than the Hobonichi Weeks, and it really doesn't matter if I'm writing in here for in my Hobonichi weeks, because at the end of the day, whatever important information will get archived into my reference binder if it needs to go in there, or it will go into my daily to-do list if it is a to-do list for a certain day. So it doesn't matter that I'm in two different spaces for Hobonichi, for brain dumping, because it's equivalent to whether I want to work on the kitchen counter, or I want to work in the dining room, or if I want to go to a cafe, or work on my desk. It really doesn't matter. It's just a space to write. And I've always had a scrap notebook on my desk, so that's just what this is. And to show you guys kind of what that looks like, sometimes I work out my planning system if I'm doing that, if I want to do that. Or here I was writing down, like I was going through the different curriculums that I got for my son for that following week, and I'm looking at the teacher's guide. The teacher's guide shows you like which pages you need to work on for that next week. And because I'm looking into different curriculums, I just wanted to write all of them down. And then on the next page, I just actually went into those pages and looked at, wrote the stuff out and took out like what I think would be age appropriate for my son. And then here I tried to just look at that list and kind of combine the similar activities, so that we can like condense that lesson, because let's be honest, I have a toddler. His attention span is not that long, so I want to jam pack it with fun stuff for like an hour, and then he's done for the day. He can play and do whatever he wants. So that's what I was using this for. And obviously this is a much nicer space to write that down compared to the Hobonichi weeks, because it's just too narrow. It's just way too narrow, but it's good for some other things. So it just depends on how I feel. So that's how I'm using these. Now let's go into my, by the way, my reference binder. I'll just quickly talk about it, but I do have a more detailed flip in my previous video. So if you're interested, you can go in and check that out. And basically I have, this is mostly just for myself, and I also have a pocket size. This is my pocket size Gillio for my family. So this has more family related things. This is the Gillio XL. Whoops, my credit card is here. Okay, so this is my Gillio XL. It's red. It's beautiful. The only thing I changed since the last time I showed you guys, which was in my previous video, is that I switched out into 25mm rings. It's gorgeous. It's amazing. This ring I got from a vendor spec. So this is the 25mm crowd rings. It's just perfect. You can see that I can fit so much. And you can see that the Gillio XL really can handle it with no problem. No problem at all. So that's what it looks like. And I do have regular pocket size inserts. These are just inserts that I got from Amazon Japan. I don't use any specialized inserts. I only use lined and grid inserts here. And if you're interested, you can go into my previous video. Basically, it just has like kind of very important information, such as like insurance, finance, and all that stuff. So that's what I use that for. And this is more just for myself, for my own well-being and self-development, and all that good stuff. And I have a detailed flip of this in my previous video, like I said. So it has my business sections, and I recently just added a homeschool section, just because if I do want, I might, like, the homeschooling might need to go into a separate binder. Then because I have a lot of personal size binder, I thought it would be nice to just keep that same size so that I can use all of my binders. So yeah, that's my personal reference binder for my business and personal, and also homeschooling. So let's talk about this, which is extremely exciting. This is my Gillio Zip in the green color. I got it when they released it in June. It's perfect. It's beautiful. It's housing my A5 Nanami notebook. So like I mentioned earlier in this video, originally I wanted to use this as my day-to-day planner, and I was going to I did use a bullet journal in 2019 for the entire year, and I really liked that. And it's actually quite interesting because I started that and I was decorating every month, and I realized how frustrating it was that I had to hunt down decorations and stickers that fit my aesthetic, and I had to, like, I wanted to make them, compatible with each other, and it was just very frustrating. Because not many things fit my aesthetic, and there were only a couple things, so I ended up using the same thing over and over. So that's also why I started my business, because I wanted everything to kind of match that month's theme. So that's how I started my business. But anyway, so originally I was going to use this for day-to-day planning, but I knew that wasn't going to work out. So instead, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to call it structured journaling. So I was looking back on let me just get a sip of water. So I was looking back at the past few years and kind of examining what worked and what didn't work, and also what I want to do, what would be my dream sort of book. And I came up with this. A huge part of my planning system, and also my just in general, like what I like to do, is my goal section. I set my yearly goals every year, and this is what I do. Let me show you. I'm my Hobonichi cousin. So I do this every year. Not every year. I started in 2018, and this has been life-changing. So basically what I do is that I sit down one day and I write in my brain dump or whatever notebook that I happen to be using, and I just close my eyes, calm myself down and try to envision the future I want for myself. And then that picture has mainly stayed the same, but doing that made me realize what I truly want in life and what kind of person I want to be. And once I set that up, I would think about what I can reasonably achieve at the end of 1 year. And I write that down as my goals for different categories. And these categories I just come up based on the overall vision of myself, like someday goal, right? And then I come up with the end of the year goal. And then from there, once I have that, I want that to be very like specific, because that's what helps me when things are more specific. I see it more as a to-do list. So then I break that down to quarterly goals and then monthly goals, and then that gets broken down to weekly tasks and daily tasks. Obviously not all of them can be broken down, but some of them can, and some of them can't be done daily. Some of them can only be done weekly or monthly, so it just depends. But this really helped me. My life has changed drastically since I've done this. I've started doing this. So I think what helped me was to see exactly where I want to be in life and set that goalpost. And then that made me realize that where I'm heading was not to that goalpost, if that makes sense. So after I came up with the goalpost of like the vision of myself, I reoriented myself little by little so that I can head towards that direction, and that has helped me so much. And also breaking down the goal into smaller bits of to-dos for daily and weekly has made it less overwhelming, and I've just been doing that, and I am heading towards the right direction, I believe, and I'm really happy with where I'm going. So that's I will be continuing to do this. Of course, my end of year goal will change slightly every year, but the overall like system will not change. Now, how this translates to daily planning is that once I break that down, I will come up with quarterly goals, and then that gets cut down to monthly goals in my actual planner, and these will become actual tasks that get transferred to the daily sections and the weekly sections as an actual task. So like something really easy is reading, right? So I said I wanted to read 60 books by the end of 2021. I'm at 50 books right now. I just stopped reading. I've been reading like 5 books every month. I stopped reading in November and December because I realized that I kind of had an unhealthy relationship with books. I was relying on it so much to take myself out of the ugly reality I was dealing with my father's sickness. I used it as a tool to escape, and I was just I wanted to regroup myself and then come back to a more neutral me before I get back into reading again, and have more neutral relationship with it instead of relying on it so heavily. So I'm taking a break. That's why I'm only at 50 books, but that's really good because in 2020 I read like 5 books all in December when I decided to start reading again. So that's a huge progress, and I was able to do that because I built that into my monthly planning. Every month I wrote down the books I wanted to read, and I built that into my planning system, so that worked. And another thing is like, for example, if you wanted to lose weight, so I said I wanted to lose 12 pounds and maintain, then that gets divided however you want to. So that's something that it's like easier to understand this if I explain it like that, I think. And then I have my business goals and such. So that's a huge part of my planning system. So I thought, and I also had a reading journal separate to this. And when I talked about my planner, I said I wanted to have my journaling, reading journal, goal planning, all of that in one book, right, with my daily planning. So I realized that what would be actually ideal is to have all of that in one book, but not the day-to-day planning. So basically that's what this is, and I'm calling it structured journaling because it does have structure. It's not just one blank notebook where you just continue to write and write and write, because that's not something that I want. I don't think that works well for me, because then I'll just not use the notebook. But I also don't want something that's so structured with the dates, and then I feel like pressure to write in it every day in a certain way. So this is what I came up with. So the Nanami planner has 480 pages. I have already worked out the math. I have done a video where I talk about exactly what the page breakdown would be. And if you're interested, you can go ahead and watch that video. But largely, it has remained the same the way I set this up. But some things I had to take out because I did the math wrong. For some reason, I think I was just too excited. Anyway, so the first 4 pages I'm going to leave blank. So the first 2 pages are not really useful because it's glued to the front. This page, I'm going to make a sticker that says index probably, and I'll just write down the page numbers of where is what and just the content of this notebook. And then here, I'm so glad I actually did this instead of writing it out, because it would have been not as nice. But basically, I used to have a planner insert shop, and I just took a previous year and I changed the dates and reprinted it in A5. I printed it on clear matte sticker paper and I taped it on. I posted me taping this on Instagram story, and people were telling me how scary it was to watch it, and they were like, good job, you don't have any bubbles. So I think I did a pretty good job, but yeah, it was pretty scary, I'm not gonna lie. So yeah, it has my logo here, sterling ink. So that's just my yearly calendar. Then on the back side, I'm going to have this sort of setup where I can write down little highlights for each month. Originally this setup was meant for day-to-day planning, so this would have been for future planning, but I'm kind of working backwards now, so this is kind of where I just write down what happened that month. And this one is blank right now, but I'm going to make a vision board for myself, and I'll write down like the top 3 things I want to work on this year or something like that. I did sit down and come up with my goals, and I have this year I have put them into different tiers. So there's tier 1, which is there's no compromise, I have to meet those goals. Tier 2 is like, oh, it would be nice if I can get to it. Tier 3 is like really like wish list, I don't have to get to it, but it would be nice to work on those things. So I'm going to write that down in terms of tiers, and I'll have some pretty pictures, and I'll print that out on sticker paper probably, and then just stick it on. It'll be really nice and neat. This page, I'm still working on my goal breakdown, but basically I'm going to have something like this and tape it onto the 2 pages. So that's what I'm going to be doing. I'm not ready yet, so that's why I haven't taped it on. And then after that, I have my quarterly goals. So this was also an insert from my shop a while ago. Obviously I don't have my planner insert shop anymore, so this is not available, but I just fixed the dates again and print this out. So I'm going to be looking at my overall goals and then my breakdown for my quarters, and then I'll write down specifically what I want to work on. Again, the key is to be specific, so I'm going to write down all the things I want to work on. And then January, I'm going to write, you can't really see, but it's actually 2 columns. So there's a column here, there's a column here. So I'm going to write down all the things I want to work on in January. So it could be like fitness, do this, this, this. And then on the right side, I'll write down how that month went. So it'll be like read 5 books, read these 5 books, and then on the right I'll write which books did I actually read. So stuff like that. So I'll do that for the 3 months. And then on the right side, this will be similar to how I used the tracker in the Hobonichi. So this is kind of how I used it here, where I write down the category and I just kind of track it. So I'm going to write down like some of these here, so up here, and now track it, and these are just a perpetual calendar. So I did that for 4 quarters, 2, 3, 4, and this is again on clear sticker paper. So yeah, so I have the 4 quarters, and then after that I just have a bunch of lists. So here I want to have overall highlights here, so that's just everyone in my family, everything in one place. And then here I'm going to do personal accomplishments, and these 2 pages will be dedicated to my son. I might have some photos and then some fun things he did, milestones and such. And then here I'm going to have business related highlights. I have 2 businesses, so one is for Sterling Ink, the other one is for Magnifica, which is my home decor business. And then this is going to be dedicated to a list of books I read. So let me see if I have that book here. So maybe not, it's not here. Anyway, so I had a reading journal. I have a video on that, so you can go back and check that. I was really just tracking the books I read, and I would put book cover stickers on the monthly section of the Hobonichi A6. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to write down the list of books I read, when I read it, how many days I took to read it, and then on the right I'll probably have like stickers of the book covers. Then I just have 2 extra pages for whatever I feel like writing. So basically these will be just lists. It's pretty finalized, but I just wanted to give it some time to make sure that those are the things I want, because once I'm done I'm going to make like a header sticker to say like overall highlights, personal highlights and such. And maybe I might even do like list sticker here maybe, because I want to make it look more finished. Then the last page is going to be end of year notes and remarks. So yeah, just summarizing that year, and then I jump right into January. So this is my freebie calendar for January. It comes in both Monday Star and Sunday Star. It's a freebie. It comes in 5 different sizes: pocket, A6, which is the Hobonichi A6 size, and personal size, so that would be a medium Gillio size, and B6, and A5. This is the A5 size. And for other sizes, I've been getting requests, but I can't do like 10 million sizes, I'm sorry. But you can definitely scale things down, scale things up, and it works really well. So I again printed that on clear matte sticker paper and just stuck it on as a cover. All of my monthlies will be on the right side, and that's also something that I wanted. In the Hobonichi Cousin, sometimes it's on the left side, sometimes it's on the right. Let me show you. So it's like this is on the right side, but you know, this is on the left side. It just depends. So like see, that's on the left side. So I'm going to always make sure that this is on the right side, and each month is going to get 38 pages except for February, because it's a shorter month, so it'll be 34 pages, and that would fill right up till the last page here. So this is my cover, like I said, and here I just drew out the monthly spread, and this is where I'm going to just write down like fun things that happened or whatever. This is for journaling, so I'll just write down like personal accomplishments or like something worth noting down, and later if I look at this page I'll kind of be able to see, oh yeah, that's when, you know, this thing happened at a glance. So I have Monday start through Sunday, and this I have a column for just notes for writing down whatever. And then this January sticker is from my shop. It's actually included in the sub kit as well as a freebie, but basically it goes with that monthly theme here. So I have a sticker here, and I have 2 trackers down here, also from my shop, and I'm trying to make these for every month so it goes with the theme of the tulips, like you see here. And this is going to be habit tracker, and I'm not going to track like 100 million habits because it just doesn't work for me. I just can never remember to do it. So what I'm going to use this for is just for fitness and reading, which I'm also going to be tracking here. But for specifically fitness and reading, it's just really satisfying to check things off. So it also encourages me. So yeah, that's what I'm going to be using this for. By the way, in terms of fitness, I wanted to quickly talk about that because it's just so funny. I bought a VR set for my husband for Christmas because he's been just amazing, and we don't normally do gifts for each other because we just get whatever we want throughout the year for ourselves. And we share our bank account, so it's like there's really no point, and we just say, oh, I want this, and we just buy it for ourselves, so it doesn't really matter. But I just wanted to surprise him. He would never get that for himself because he's like so disciplined. He's like, no, I can't play games, and you know, I need to do like more useful things or whatever. But I wanted to get it for him because he's Australian. He loves playing cricket. And I thought it would be nice to, you know, get him that VR set and he can maybe play with his friends back in Australia. He's a huge cricket fan, so I got it for him. But what's funny is that he's never used it for cricket. He's been playing other games. But what I'm trying to say is, have you guys heard of Supernatural, the app? It is a workout app on the VR, like Oculus Quest. That's the one that we got, and it is so much fun. Like, I hate working out, but like I literally cannot wait to get on that and do that workout because it's just so much fun. It's like playing a game, and the scenery is beautiful, and it completely takes you out of your current, like, whatever you're dealing with, and just for 10 minutes you just do that, and it's just like the best experience ever. So I've been doing that, and so I'm gonna see how that works out for me for the new year, because I've just been like last night I was so overwhelmed with all the stuff I have to do. And I was like, you know what, just take 10 minutes and get out of here. And I put the VR set on, I did a workout, and I was in Machu Picchu, I think. It was gorgeous. Yeah, it was amazing. So for those of you who are like really lazy like me and don't like to work out, you can definitely try that out. So, and I also have my cycling bike, so I'll be doing that as well. But anyway, my point is I want to check that off. It's just really satisfying to check this. And these date stickers are also from my shop for the January collection. I try to match that January theme, so it's like grayish watercolor. So that's all set up. And then right after that, I'm going to have one page for weekly. So I have this weekly section that's really tiny. I don't need a huge section for weekly. I just want to write down quick highlights or whatever. And then I have my goals and then highlights. So goals, I would be pre-filling it, and then I'll probably write a little bit like, did I meet that goal, slash like just check it off, don't check it off, whatever. And then on the right hand side I have highlights. I'm not completely sure about this portion of the setup, but so I only did it for this week, but I'll see how that goes. And then after that, I have 6 pages of dailies, and then I go into the next week. So you can see I didn't write that out down here. Then I continue to do that, 6 pages, and then 2 weeks. I am aware that there are 7 days in a week, but it doesn't really matter because it's not dated, and I don't know if I'm going to be able to use up a whole page per day. That's why. And there are also not enough pages in this notebook to do 7 pages a day. I mean, page a day. So that's what I did. And this is going to continue until, oops, I guess I took it out. But basically I'm going to continue until this page right here. And this is going to be February. So yeah, that's how I set it up. And once I'm ready, I'm going to decorate these pages the way I decorated my cousin daily pages, just with my monthly stickers. Everything is going to match that month's theme, so I'm going to be using my do I have it here again? Okay, yeah, so I have these stickers, so I'll be using them to decorate my spreads. And how I'm going to be journaling is I'm going to try to do morning journaling and evening journaling, so right before I go to sleep. In the morning, I'll just write down whatever I need to do, set the intention for the day. I'm going to try to read something inspirational in the morning before I start work, and I'll write down some notes. Sometimes I'll copy down passages that I like from the readings that I've done, so it'll also serve as a reading journal, and also write thoughts about the stuff I read. It's just very, there are no rules in terms of journaling. It's just whatever I need to write, but I'll try to do morning and morning intention setting and inspirations, and then at night before I go to sleep I'll just reflect on the day. So that's how I plan on using this A5 journal. So yeah, so that completes my 2022 setup. And other than these, I'm still going to be using my 5-year journal for my family, which I've started in 2019 because that's when my son was born. So this is going to be the 4th year I'll be in this. And then I just have this personal 5-year journal. This is really, really small. Yeah, this is just a place where I write down like my personal like accomplishments, so that I can like reflect on each year. So yeah, that's it. That was a really, really long video, like I said. But yeah, so that's everything that's happening in 2022 for me. And I'll probably show these planners throughout the year too. So if you like my content, please subscribe and you'll be notified of any future videos. So that's it, guys, and happy 2022, and let's hope that this is a better year for all of us, and happy holidays. Bye.